The Israeli army handed a Bedouin village an order to demolish the majority of the residents' permanent houses, alongside the outhouses and sheep pens. The village of Jabaa lies adjacent to an illegal Israeli settlement, where the Israeli authorities plan to further expand it. The residents of Jabaa say they are being continuously harassed by the Israeli army, and not only that, the settlers often shoot at them.
They have already demolished 15 to 16 outhouses and homes, including my own. They demolished my house last year. Now I live in this barracks along with my brothers. They have now given us a demolition order to destroy 3 more homes. Last year, they took everything from our homes and threw it outside during the winter.
Israel has already destroyed many houses in the village, and the locals are now living in crowded and inhumane conditions.
The Israeli army has already demolished many houses, and now they have handed us a notice that they will demolish more. This is my house. This is my home. I don't have a second house. If they destroy these, then we have nowhere to go. Sometimes the army comes here in the day, sometimes in the night, and they hand us demolition orders. They have handed us one for the barracks.
This is just one of many Bedouin communities throughout the West Bank under threat of demolition due to the Israeli authorities' plans to expand the settlements. These settlements are illegal under the UN Security Council and international law, and they are in direct contravention of the 4th Geneva Convention. This small Bedouin village is strangled between an Israeli checkpoint and an illegal Israeli settlement. The villagers here are constantly harassed by both settlers and Israeli soldiers. Now that their village will be demolished, they will literally have nowhere to go.
That are coming in. Israel has been planning for occupying more of the Golan Heights for a year now. What are your initial reactions to this?
Well, first of all, I think we have to view this statement concerning the buffer zone in the broader context of Israeli involvement in the Syrian war. Right from the outset, we had what we might describe as a covert war with the formation of terrorist brigades supported by the Western military alliance, but also supported by Israel. And in fact, Israel supported the incursion of Salafists right from day one in the border city of Dara, so that in essence, Zionism and jihadism are joining hands. It is incorrect to say that these terrorists are a threat to Israel. They are supported by Israel. So the pretext that they give, that they want to have a buffer zone to protect themselves against terrorists, is a fabrication, because they themselves are the source of this terrorism. Now, we also have to address the issue of timing. It comes immediately after the January elections. It also comes right at the outset of Obama's second term. It is a watershed in the evolution of the US-NATO war, covert war directed against Syria, but it also could lead potentially to escalation with the involvement of Israel, inside Syrian territory, with the air attacks and the subsequent threats.
Indeed, Mr. Chossudovsky, but you mentioned how the insurgents with Salafist ideologies are being used as basically proxies in this war against Bashar al-Assad and Syria as a whole. But considering that these insurgents do ascribe to the Salafist ideology, do you think they are going to be willing to see Israel taking such an active role in Syria, or are we going to see them bite the hand that has been feeding them, as you've mentioned?
No, this is the issue is broadly geopolitical. We must understand that a broader Middle East war directed against Lebanon, Syria, and Iran has been on the drawing board of the Pentagon for the last 10 years, more or less since the last 10 years, in the wake of the Iraq War. Israel is part of that military alliance. It has a protocol with NATO. It is a de facto member of NATO. It has a very strong bilateral relationship with both the United States and Turkey. And although it has not been visibly involved inside Syria, in the last 2 years, it is involved in supporting the terrorist groups and also in liaison, I should say, with the Gulf states, with Saudi Arabia and Qatar. And Qatar, we know, is financing these groups. So that now the other issue which should be raised is that Israel has historically stated its objective to create a greater Israel. It's not the mainstay of the political spectrum in Israel, but certain groups in Israel have put this forth, particularly the right-wing Orthodox groups. And we know that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is, in fact, very much committed, maybe not officially, to the notion of Greater Israel. So that this is, in fact, a provocation. The buffer zone is already there. Israel already occupies